Hey there, good afternoon everyone. It's time for Strat-O-Matic Baseball. Spokane Steve with you, another exciting 1966 replay game. And there's Kenyon right on time. Hello Kenyon. Hope your day is going well. It was almost late today. I'm never late, as you pointed out yourself. Had to run to the store. It took a little longer than I thought it would take. I'm going to heat up this coffee here. And we'll get to the matchups for today's ball game. Baltimore Orioles at the Washington Senators. The Orioles, of course, come in first place in the American League with an 11-3 record. The Senators with a 7-8 mark. Wally Bunker will take the mound for Baltimore. There's his card in real life. And here's the Jim Duckworth card that Joel Anderson made for me and sent me as an email attachment. Many of you might remember Duckworth's previous game. Let's check Duckworth's stats. He's had 2 starts. He's 1-0 with a 5.06 ERA, 10 2/3 innings, 11 hits, 12 walks, 11 strikeouts. Okay, let's look at, hang on a second here. I want to see if I can find his box score, his line score, player stats. Jim Duckworth, here we go. Yes, he's had 2 starts. The first start, he only lasted 2 innings and was knocked out. His last start on April the 24th against Detroit, he went 8 2/3 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs, walked 8, and struck out 11. I know some of you guys, well, if you watched that game, you would remember it. Let's put it that way. Let's check Bunker's replay stats. Let's see, Wally Bunker. He's made 3 starts. He's 1-1 with a high 6.27 ERA in the replay. He has 1 complete game in the 3 starts. 18 2/3 innings, 21 hits allowed, and 18 strikeouts. So those are your pitchers. The Duckworth card, you can see, almost perfectly fits the size. Something I've never been able to do. So again, a shout out to Joel Anderson for making me this Duckworth card. He watched the game and I guess was so impressed that he wanted me to have a better Duckworth card. And I do appreciate it. Pop that coffee out of the microwave. So there's your starters. Let's get to the lineups here. And there's Ben. Welcome, Ben. Yes, Ben, welcome back to the ballpark. Hope your day is going well. The Orioles, the same lineup as they've had pretty much every day this season. Luis Aparicio leading off. Kurt Blefary in the 2 spot. Frank Robinson bats 3rd. Brooks Robinson bats cleanup. Boog Powell in the 5 spot. Davey Johnson 6th, Paul Blair 7th, Andy Etchebarren 8th, and Wally Bunker, the pitcher, 9th. Setting the Senators defensively for you, Jim French will be catching Duckworth. With Dick Nann at first, Blassingame and Brinkman are your double play combo. And McMullen at 3rd base. The outfield left to right, Frank Howard, Fred Valentine, and Jim King. Is there Jim King? Yes, it is. Jim King. Wasn't sure about the first name there for just a second. Jim King in right. Yes, exactly, Kenyon. So with that perspective, you can easily see why that game he pitched on April 24th against Detroit was such a big deal. The card is terrible. How he managed to go 8 2/3 inning itself is amazing, let alone that he struck out a whole bunch of guys and walked away with the win. So we're about ready to roll on this game. The umpire says play ball. Jim Duckworth's ready. Aparicio steps in from the right side. Aparicio, the Orioles' leadoff man, comes into the game at just 209. No homers, 4 RBIs. Duckworth, the right-hander, into the windup now. Here's the pitch to Aparicio. That's going to be a 4-10 right-handed, a fly ball to center and shallow. Here comes Valentine, still coming. Just does catch up with it. And there's one away, and we are underway. How about that? And here's Kurt Blefary now. Blefary, the left-handed batter, comes into the game hitting .362, 4 home runs, and he leads the club in RBIs with 15. So here's Blefary. Duckworth gets his sign from French. The windup and the pitch. A 3-8 against the righty as the tapper down to first. Nen will take it himself. And quickly, there are 2 away in the first inning. And here comes Frank Robinson. Frank, of course, would go on to win the Triple Crown this season in real life. What's he doing in the replay? Oh, he's just hitting .367 with 4 home runs and 13 RBIs. Duckworth gets the sign, the windup, the pitch to Frank Robinson. That's a 3-6 right-handed single to 7, but on a 16, that's going to be stopped by Blasingame. He's up, throws to Nen, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Duckworth. And the Duckworth saga continues. A scoreless 1-2-3 inning for Duckworth. As Wally Bunker gets loose, let's get you the Washington lineup. Fred Valentine in center today leading off. Blasingame batting second. McMullen in his usual 3 spot, as is Frank Howard, the cleanup man. Jim King will bat 5th. Dick Nen in the 6th spot. Ed Brinkman hits 7th. The catcher, Jim French. This card is just a placeholder. We'll be using the computer-only Jim French, left-handed hitting catcher. And Duckworth, the pitcher, batting 9th. Baltimore defensively, of course. Echeverrin will catch Bunker. Powell, Johnson, Aparicio, and the vacuum cleaner Brooks Robinson around the infield. Blefary, Blair, and Frank Robinson from left to right in the outfield. And Bunker's ready to work as Fred Valentine steps to the plate. A switch hitter hitting left-handed, comes into the game at .288. 4 home runs and 8 RBIs, which ties him for the club lead. Bunker gets the sign from Echeverrin now. Here's the pitch to Valentine. That's going to be a 6-11 left-handed, a fly ball into center field. Blair cruises over and makes the catch for the out. Just getting started here, folks. Get something to drink, find a comfortable seat, and spend an hour or so with me. Here's Blasingame now. Blasingame hasn't played that much this season. He's just 4 for 25, 160. He's been in 7 ball games, does not have a run batted in. Bunker ready to work now. Here's the windup. Pitch to Dawn is a 4-7 left-handed. That's a base hit into right field. And Blasingame aboard with a 1-out single. So Blasingame singles. He's a 13, but not a star. Let's check the battery now for Baltimore. Bunker a +1, Echeverrin a 0. He'd be a 14. Boy, I hate that 10 automatic caught, but I'll tell you what, this Washington team is offensively starved. I'll tell you, they come into the game hitting .222 as a team with only 14 home runs. By contrast, the Orioles are batting .296 as a club with 23 home runs. So with that in mind, Blasingame is going to try for the lead, 6 or 7. And of course, we've got a dice down behind the tower and somewhere under the couch. Oh, great. All right, bear with me. It's almost clear into the other room. There we go. We're back. That wasn't as bad as I thought. Okay, Blasingame trying for the lead. Needs a 6 or a 7. He'd be a 14. 7, he's got it. There he goes. That's the Baron's throw. He's in there on a possible overthrow number. Checking the catcher's overthrow. It's a 1 through 8. And he does not throw it into the outfield. So stolen base, Blasingame. That's his first stolen base of the season. Normally, I usually don't steal with those kind of guys. Because if he'd have rolled a 10 on the two red die, he would have been automatically caught stealing. Runner at second, 1 down. Here's the next pitch to McMullen. That's going to be a 2-9 right-handed, and that's into center field for a base hit, an open single. Blasingame rounds. Blair, a -1, 13-12. With 1 out, he'll hold up. So Blasingame will hold at third. And just like that, the Senators have runners on the corners and 1 away. And here comes big Frank Howard. Howard comes into the game batting .321, just 1 home run, 7 runs batted in. I like that, Ben. That's what I'm thinking, Kenyon, exactly. The Senators may need to gamble a little more to have a chance to win against what is, on paper, certainly the best team in the league. So here's Howard now, runners at the corners. Baltimore will keep the infield at double play depth. I'm checking the sound volume on my crowd noise. It seems a little lower today. Just a second, I'm going to refresh this screen. Well, that seemed a little better. Okay, first and third. Double play depth, infield back. Here's Big Frank, the pitch from Bunker. On a 5-3 to the right-hander, it's a fly to right field X. That's Frank Robinson, a 2E5. Will it be deep enough for the runner to tag? Let's find out. 2E5 on a 3. Oh, better than that. Robinson's not going to get it. That's down for a base hit. And McMullen will go into third. How about that? 2 outfielder, unable to get there. McMullen churns into third, and it's 1-0 Washington. And hello to Jack. Yeah, I tell you what, I'm still shaking my head over that one. I even had a new sound effect I was going to use for a walk-off, and it was such a, to me anyway, an anticlimactic walk-off, a walk-off walk, that I forgot to use it. So here's Jim King now. King just 4 for 15 on the season, but 3 of those 4 hits are home runs, and he has 8 RBIs, 2 of them in the pinch hit role. Bunker from the stretch now, pitch to King. 1-7, swung on and missed, strike 3. So King has some power, and King also strikes out quite a bit. And with 2 outs, the batter will be Dick Nen. Nen, 0 for 15 on the season, looking for his first hit. He's been in 8 ball games. Despite having no hits, he somehow has 1 RBI. Runners at the corners, 2 down. Bunker from the stretch. Pitch to Dick Nen. That's a 4-9. Swung on and missed, strike 3. So Bunker gets out of the jam cheaply enough. Just 1 run allowed on 3 hits, 2 left. And after 1 inning here in the nation's capital, it's Senators 1, Orioles nothing. And I'm a little surprised by that. You could probably hear it in my voice. Washington playing Baltimore. I'm kind of surprised they would have a lead at any point in the game. Of course, as you said there, on any given day. On to the second. Brooks Robinson to lead things off. Brooks comes in hitting .311, 1 homer, 8 RBIs. Bunker gets the sign. Duckworth gets the sign. What am I saying? Duckworth gets the sign. The pitch to Robinson. 112 right-handed. He walks him, ball 4. One thing we know about Duckworth, he gets his share of strikeouts, and he also walks a lot of guys. So Brooks aboard with the leadoff walk, and here's Big Boog. Boog comes into the game at .304. 7 home runs to lead the ball club. That would also tie him for the American League lead in home runs with 7 and 11 RBIs. So Boog flailing the bat around now. Duckworth staring in from the stretch. The pitch to Boog. 5-7 left-handed. That's going to be a grounder to second. Blasingame has it. Throws to Brinkman down to Nan. Double play. Oh my goodness, how about that? So Duckworth trying to coax a ground ball out of Powell, who does not run well, and it's an easy double play for the Senators. Yes, the Moog. I remember the Moog. Oh, yeah. Pretty much we're all in that age group where that was one of the first ones, wasn't it? Keith Emerson. Yeah. Here's Davey Johnson now. 2 down, nobody on. Johnson comes into the game at .339. 1 homer, 8 RBIs. Duckworth the one. Pitch to Johnson is a 2-8 right-handed. A tapper to short. Brinkman charging it on the run. Makes the play, and the side is retired. No runs, no hits, none left. Still 1-0. On a rather cold and chilly day in Spokane today. Even had a few snow flurries this morning. Nothing to get excited about, but it certainly doesn't seem like spring. We got a week of a fake-out spring, and then more of this. More of this crap, as I like to say. Okay. I certainly feel much better than I did yesterday. My God, I was dragging yesterday. Bottom of the order for the Senators, Eddie Brinkman. Steady Eddie will lead things off. He comes into the ball game hitting .228, 1 home run, 6 RBIs. Bunker getting the sign. The windup and the pitch. Oh, we got one on the floor. That's going to be a re-roll. Fouls one off. And here's the pitch. A 4-10 to the right-hander. Fly ball into center and shallow. Blair coming on, still coming, just does catch up to it. And there's one away. Oh, wow, 5 inches of snow for Ben, then warming up and raining. I like it when it does that, because the rain combined with the warmer, yeah, you know, gets rid of all that snow. At least you can drive. Assuming it's not too much snow, then it floods, which is almost as bad. Here's Jim French, represented by the computer-only card. French, as you can see by his card, pretty much could only walk. There are a couple of hits here on the right-hand side. On the left-hand side, nothing but walks, and lots of them. French has not played very much. Let's see what he's done so far. He's only been in 1 ball game, and he's 0 for 3. So Bunker ready to go, winds and deals. The pitch to French, batting left-handed. That's a 2-3 tapper down to short. Aparicio to Powell, 2 down. So French retired. And here's the pitcher, Duckworth. Duckworth, a right-handed batter, 1W. Here's the pitch from Wally Bunker. 5-7, double to 6 on an 18. That'll be a base hit for Duckworth. Ho, how about that? A 2-out single for Jim Duckworth. I'm always surprised when a pitcher gets a hit, especially a 1-hitting pitcher's card. So here's Fred Valentine again. Flew to center his first time up today. Bunker gets the sign. Now from the stretch comes to the plate. on a 2-5. That's ripped down the right field line. That's into the gap, actually, for a double. Chasing it down is Frank Robinson. Rounding is Duckworth. Robbie a +1. Duckworth a 10, +2, 12, +1, 13. He's coming. Duckworth, Robinson's throw. The relay from Johnson, and he scores. Duckworth with some hitting and some base running displayed here today. Oh my goodness, it's an RBI double for Valentine. And he'll take third on the throw. 1 through 16 runner, Valentine with some wheels. It's 2-0 Washington. And the fans are saying, holy crap, get me a freaking hot dog. That'll bring up Blasingame. He singled, stole second, came around to score the first run of the game. Bunker studying the signs now. Man on third, 2 down. Here's the pitch. It's going to be a 5-6 left-handed, and he walks him. Ball 4. So Bunker kind of fighting himself out there so far today. First and third, 2 down now, and here's Ken McMullen, Big Frank Howard on deck. Okay, here we go. Bunker and McMullen right on right. First and third, 2 down. Here's the pitch. 111 right-hander to fly ball to left. That's playable for Bluffery, and that will do it. But another run for Washington. And yes, Kenyon, Senators playing inspired baseball. They get a run on 2 hits, leave a pair. They really want to get to that 500 mark today, don't they? You know, one thing that's true, in real life at least, is when you're playing the best, it tends to bring out the best in your team as well. And that has proven to be the case so far today for the Washington Senators against a stacked Oriole ball club. Jim Duckworth with 2 scoreless innings, so the Jim Duckworth saga continues, and it will be the bottom of the order for Baltimore. Paul Blair to lead things off. Blair hitting just .220, 1 home run and 13 RBIs. Duckworth into the windup. The pitch to Blair, a 6'9" right-handed, swung on and missed, strike 3. Oh my goodness, could it really be happening again? How many of you guys were here for Duckworth's last start? Here's Echebarren now. Echebarren hitting .296, 3 home runs, 8 RBIs. Duckworth with the pitch. That's going to be a 4-5 right-handed. It's a grounder to shortstop X. That'll be Steady Eddie. Ed Brinkman, a 2E29. Fine defensive shortstop. He goes into the hole. Here's the play on a 12, the E rating. That'll be a 3 on a 29. That sounds like trouble, and he boots it. Error on Brinkman. So E6. And Echebarren's on first with 1 out. Here's Bunker now. Not much of a hitter. Let's check his bunting rating. He's a B. And he's going to try to lay it down. Pitch from Duckworth. He lays it down. 7 on a B. It's a successful sacrifice bunt for Bunker. Echebarren to second. We'll credit Bunker with a sacrifice hit. And Echebarren in scoring position. Slow runner, of course. That's really all they could do here. And here's Aparicio trying to pick him up. Aparicio 0 for 1. Duckworth checks his runner, now comes to the plate. 5-6 right-handed, a single to 1, but that's going to be a grounder to second on a 3. Blasingame over to Nan, and that'll do it. So 3 scoreless innings in the books for Jim Duckworth. Five endurance. Bunker also a 5. Bunker pitched a lot in relief that year. 143 innings. He made 24 starts. He made quite a few starts. More of a starter than a reliever, as we discussed yesterday, indicated there by the underlined starter. Pretty decent card. Not one of Bunker's best seasons, but solid. And he'll be facing Howard, King, and Nen as we move along to the bottom of the third. Bunker gets the sign from Echebarren. Big Frank Howard, 1-for-1 with a ribby. The wind up the pitch. 2-4 right-handed is a grounder to short. Aparicio over to Powell. 1 down. And here's Jim King now. King struck out his first time up today. Standing in from the left side as Bunker goes into the windup. Pitch to King is a 3-5 right-handed, and he draws the walk. So King aboard with a 1-out walk, and that'll bring up Dick Nen. I feel like I should know more about Nen than I do. I'm familiar with the name, but I stopped to think of some anecdote to tell about him and was surprised to find that I have none. Anyway, Nen struck out his first time up. Runner at first, 1 down. Bunker now from the stretch. Pitch to Nen, a 4-9 to the lefty. Swung on and missed strike 3. And Nen K'd for the second time today. So Bunker apparently has Nen's number. And with 2 down, here's Eddie Brinkman. Brinkman 0-for-1. Flew to center his first time up. Bunker checks his runner now from the stretch. Pitch to Eddie on a 3-2. That's going to be a base hit into center field. An open single. King rounding. Blair a -1. 12. 2 outs. 14. 13. No, he'll hold up. So King will hold at second on a sharply hit single by Brinkman. And it'll be up to the catcher, Jim French. French grounded to short his first time up. Bunker staring in to get the sign from the stretch. Pitch to French on a 3-10, and he walks him to load the bases. Holy crap. Bunker 2 walks in the inning. Fortunately for Baltimore, the pitcher is coming up. On the other hand, Duckworth has already singled and scored today. So Duckworth standing in now with the bases loaded and 2 down. 2-0 Senators already. And they're looking to add on. Bunker looking to get out of this jam as he comes set now. Full windup. Pitch to Duckworth on a 6-9. Oh my God, that's ripped into the gap for a 2-star single. In comes King. In comes Brinkman. French will stop at third. And it's a 2-run double for Jim Duckworth, who's 2 for 2. Can you believe it? And the Jim Duckworth story just keeps getting better and better. And here's Valentine now. 4-0 Washington. We're only in the 3rd inning. Here's Fred Valentine, 1 for 2. Second and third, 2 down. Bunker, full windup now. Pitch to Valentine. 110 righty, pops him up on the left side. Aparicio will take it, and that'll do it. But 2 more runs for the Senators on 2 hits, and they leave 2. After 3 complete, Senators 4, Orioles nothing. Oh, there you go, Kenyon. Yeah, I knew that. What's wrong with me? Rob Nan, a great relief pitcher. Son of Dick Nan. I'll tell you, Jack Duckworth was the player of the game in his last start, April 24th against the Tigers. And the card is absolutely horrid. That's what makes this, and he's a one pitcher's hitting card, double and a single. That's what makes this so interesting. This Duckworth, the dice love Jim Duckworth. I don't know how else to sum it up. Orioles trying to get off the mat now. They'll send up Blefary and the Robinsons. It sounds like something your parents would say. Get cleaned up, son. The Robinsons are coming over. Okay, Blefary standing in there, 0 for 1. Duckworth with the windup. It's a 6-12 to the lefty. It's a grounder to second base X. That's Blassingame, a 4E14. Blassingame behind the bag. Here's the play on a 4. He's not going to get that. That's through for a single. And Blefary is aboard to lead off the 4th. Kurt Blefary opens the 4th with a base hit. Not a threat to run. And here comes Frank Robinson, Brooks on deck. And I don't know about you guys, but I'll tell you, it still doesn't feel like a 4-run lead. You know what I mean? Here's Frank Robinson, 0 for 1. Duckworth from the stretch. Pitch to Robbie, a 2-3, grounder to third. McMullen has it down to Blassingame to Nen, double play. So that's twice. Duckworth's gotten the ground ball when he needed it. 2 down, nobody on, and here's Brooks. Oh my goodness. Duckworth gets his sign from French. Robinson walked his first time up. Now here's the pitch. On a 4-7 right-handed, and he walks him again. So a 2-out walk to Brooks, and that'll bring Big Boog to the plate. Pell bounced into a double play to second his first time up today. Duckworth staring in now from the stretch. Pitch to Boog, a 3-7 right-handed. It's a double to 8 on a 10. That's going to be a single, 2 stars. Robinson will round and cruise into third. And the Orioles have runners at the corners with 2 down. So Duckworth now in a jam, really his first jam of the day. And here comes Davy Johnson. Johnson grounded to short his first time up. 2 down, first and third. Duckworth staring in now. Ignoring Powell at first, he goes into the full windup. And the pitch to Davy Johnson on a 5-12 is a grounder to first base X. That'll be Nen. Nen, a good fielding first baseman, a 2E15. And here's the play on an 11. It's the error rating. The roll is a 7 on an E15, and he boots it. Oh my, error Nen, the second error of the game for the Senators. E3. That's going to allow Brooks Robinson to cross the plate. Powell holds up at second. And it's a 4-1 ball game. An unearned run charged to Duckworth. And here's Paul Blair. Blair struck out his first time up. First and second, 2 down now. Duckworth from the stretch. His pitch to Blair, a 5-8 righty. That's down the left field line, ricocheting into the corner. Bounces into center, Valentine to pick it up. Here comes Powell. Here comes Johnson. And here comes Blair sliding into third with a 2-run triple. Oh my. So all those runs unearned, thanks to the error by Nen. And suddenly, just like that, it's 4-3. All the damage with 2 outs, and here's Echebarren. They're going to put him on. 4 wide ones to Echebarren. He'll pitch to Bunker, trying to get out of this inning. Yep. And Duckworth reached into his hat only to find that he's run out of rabbits. And here's Bunker now. The windup on the pitch. That's going to be a 2-11. Tepper to second. Blasingame to Nen. The strategy works and the side is retired. But 3 runs for Baltimore on 3 hits. They leave a pair. All 3 runs charged to Duckworth will be unearned in that inning. And it's 4-3 Senators. So he manages to get out of there with the lead intact, although barely. And here's Bunker now. Blasingame, then McMullen and Howard for Washington. So like I said, if Washington thought they were going to score 4 runs and sit back and rest on him, it's going to take more than that to defeat a stacked Baltimore team. And here's Blasingame to lead it off. He has not been retired today. He singled and walked. Bunker into the windup. Pitch to Blasingame on a 5-8 to the lefty is the grounder to second base X. That'll be Davey Johnson, a 2E25 to his left. Here's the play on an 18. He's got it. Flips to Powell, 1 down. So 4-3X, Blasingame retired. And here's Ken McMullen. McMullen 1 for 2. Bunker into the windup. Pitch to McMullen is a 4-3. It's a high fly ball to deep left field. Bluffery going back to the track, to the wall. It's gone! Home run, Ken McMullen. Oh, and the crowd's loving this. Ken McMullen rounds the bases after hitting his 3rd home run of the season. Let's take another look at it. 4-3 to 16. The roll is a 9. McMullen, of course, has the power. He and Howard pretty much the power threats in this lineup. I think Valentine might have a little. More against left-handers, to be sure. 5-3 Senators. So they tack 1 on, and here's Frank Howard now, 1 for 2. Yes, when the crowd's revved up again. Bunker gets his sign. Now the windup. Pitch to Big Frank, a 4-8 right-handed base hit up the middle. Boy, and Bunker's not fooling too many people today. A 1-out single by Howard. And here comes Jim King. Struck out and walked. Mo Drabowski starts the toss in the Baltimore pen. They've been cuffing Bunker around pretty good today. Bunker from the stretch. The pitch to King is a 4-6 left-handed. It's a grounder to second. Johnson has it to Aparicio. Back to Powell for an inning-ending double play. But the Senators pick up a run on 2 hits. Home run by Ken McMullen. And after 4 complete, it's Senators 5, Orioles 3. So an interesting, very different, yet very interesting game so far. And here come the Orioles again. Orioles almost batted around in the 4th. And here's Aparicio to lead it off. He's 0 for 2 today. First inning of potential fatigue for Duckworth. Now gets his sign from French. Here's the windup. Pitch to Aparicio, 1-12. It's a liner, speared by Nen. Nice snag by Nen, and there's 1 down. And here's Kurt Bluffery. Bluffery 1 for 2. Oh, I see what you mean, Franklin. And welcome, by the way. MLB The Show team. I like recreating MLB by mixing the players. Oh yeah, that's fun too. I play in quite a few draft leagues. You know, you draft your own players, so rather than draft league as opposed to a stock league, I guess. Bleffery's 1 for 2. Duckworth gets the sign. Here's the windup. Here's the pitch. That's going to be a 6-4 to the left-hander. Fly to center field X. That's Valentine, a 4-E8 out there. Valentine ranging to the gap. Here's the play on a 19. He makes the running catch. How about that? So Bleffery retired on a fine play in center by Valentine. Valentine, of course, normally plays right field for Washington, but he's in center today. 2 down, nobody on, and here's Frank Robinson. Robbie 0 for 2. Duckworth with the sign now. The windup on the pitch to Robinson. That's a 3-7 right-handed, and he draws the walk. And in typical Bunker fashion, he's now walked 4 batters today, albeit one of them intentionally. Robinson does not need to be held on as Brooks Robinson, stands in. Excuse me, let me get a drink of coffee here. Brooks Robbie has walked twice today. Runner on first, 2 away. Here's the pitch from the stretch. That'll be a 6-5 right-handed, swung on and missed, strike 3. And Duckworth sets him down in the 5th. No runs, no hits, 1 left. Oh my goodness. And the Jim Duckworth saga continues. The question for me now is, when do we pull him? I'm definitely enjoying the Magic Act, but we all know it has to end sometime. It's also hard to take out the Joel Anderson specially made Duckworth card, which he was kind enough to create for me and send me as an email attachment. So if you're out there, Joel Anderson, tip of the cap again, and thanks. Bunker ready to work. Nan, Brinkman, and French for Washington. Nan struck out both times today against Bunker. Now into the windup. The pitch to Nan, a 3-6. Tepper to second. Johnson to Powell. 1 away. One down as Eddie Brinkman steps to the plate. Steady Eddie, 1 for 2 today. Bunker, the sign from Echeverrin. Here's the windup. And here's the pitch to Brinkman. That's going to be a 4-9 right-handed. Swung on and missed, strike 3. So Bunker whiffs Brinkman. And with 2 down, here's the catcher, Jim French. Left-handed batter, 0 for 1 with a walk. Bunker gets his sign. Here's the pitch to French. On a 3-2, that'll be a tapper the other way to third. Robinson to his left. He's got it over to Powell. And it's a clean inning for Bunker. So we're through 5. Washington 5, Baltimore 3. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me on a Monday. Appreciate the company. Yeah, it says spring, but it sure as hell doesn't feel like it. I've been working on my 365 teams on the Strat-O-Matic online site, the Barnstormers tournament. And of course, they just dropped the 2023 cards the other day, so I'm building a team for that. Always something going on with me in Strat-O-Matic. Sometimes too many things at one time, if I must admit, but I love it. Here we go to the 6th. Dick Line starts to throw in the Washington pen just in case. Pal Johnson and Blair do. Boog, 1 for 2 today. Duckworth gets the sign from French. Here's the pitch to Boog. on a 1-6, swung on and missed, strike 3. That's 2 Ks in a row for Duckworth. So Duckworth very close to replicating his last start. And here's Davey Johnson, who's 0 for 2 today. Duckworth gets his sign. Here it is. It's going to be a 3-7 right-handed, swung on and missed, strike 3, and that's 3 Ks in a row for Duckworth. And here I am worrying about when to take him out. He's just sailing along, 2 down, nobody on, and here's Paul Blair. Blair's 2-run triple, the big hit for the Orioles so far today. He's 1 for 2. Duckworth with the windup. The pitch to Blair, a 6-9, swung on and missed, strike 3, and Duckworth strikes out the side. Oh my goodness. You gotta love this. This is crazy. We've got about 8 or 9 people in the chat. It says, anybody out there here for the last Jim Duckworth start? It was April 24th against Detroit. How many of you remember that one? Now we have an interesting situation. No, he's not coming out. What am I saying? Interesting situation. Duckworth's going to bat. He's 2 for 2. He has a 2-run lead. Here's Bunker's pitch to it. That's a 6-11 to the righty. Tapper down to first. Boog will take it himself. 1 away. And here's Fred Valentine now, 1 for 2 today. RBI double in the second. Switch hitter batting lefty. And here's the pitch. 5-4 to the lefty. The fly to center field X, that's Blair, 2E5. Blair drifting back now. Reaches up and makes the catch for the out. So nice running catch, Paul Blair, 2 away. And here's Blasingame. Bunker into the windup. Puts the Blasingame. 3-4, pops him up. Right side, Powell. And that'll do it. 1, 2, 3 go the Senators in the 6th. Through 6, it's Washington 5, Baltimore 3. Now Ken Hamlin, who played in this game in real life, is going to take over for Blasingame at second since he made the last out. A little early for defense. For most games, anyway. Here, I can't resist the temptation to give Duckworth a little bit extra to work with. Behind him defensively, that is. A 3E34. I'm not even sure that's any better than a 4E14, to be honest with you. But that's what we're going to do. Definitely can turn more double plays than the 4. They almost never get the double play. And we go to the 7th. Duckworth's going out there. And the question is, how long is Gil Hodges going to stay with Duckworth? Well, he stayed with him for 8 2/3 his last start. And it'll be Andy Etchebarren leading off for Baltimore here in the 7th. Andy 0 for 1 with a walk, an intentional walk at that. Duckworth into the windup. The pitch to Andy is a 1-10. He walks him. So a leadoff walk to Etchebarren, and now trailing, the Orioles will send up a pinch hitter for Bunker. So Wally Bunker goes 6 innings today. 3, 5, 7, 9 hits. 5 runs. He walked 3 and struck out 2, 3, 4. Grabowski was warming. He'll be coming in. And right now we need a batter. Grabowski will come in for the bottom of the inning. In real life, the Orioles use Sam Bowens to pinch hit in this game, and that's good enough for me. So Sam Bowens will come off the bench. Runner on first, nobody out. Bowens 210 in real life, 275 on base, 329 slugging. In the replay, he is 1 for 1. 1 at bat, 1 hit. It was a homer. 1 run, 2 RBIs. So he had 1 at bat this year and he's hit a home run. So here he is. And Duckworth from the stretch, pitch to Bowens, is a 2-5, swung on and missed, strike 3. So Bowens down on strikes. And that'll bring up the leadoff man, Luis Aparicio. Duckworth from the stretch now. Being very deliberate on the mound. Now he comes set. Pitch to Aparicio, a 5-8. That is into the gap for extra bases. That's going to be a double for Aparicio. Let's see, that's to center. Valentine, a -1. Echebarren, 9, -1, 8. No way, he'll hold up. Echebarren holds at third on a long double by Luis Aparicio. Tying runs out there. And here comes Hodges, and that's going to do it for Duckworth. I hate to do it, I really do. But I think it's time. So Duckworth didn't quite match his last start. He goes 6 1/3. Didn't allow a hit for the first 3 innings. Ended up allowing just 4 hits. 3 runs so far, but 2 runners in scoring position are his responsibility. 3 of the runs he allowed were unearned. So all 3 runs so far are unearned. He pitched a hell of a game. 2, 3, 4, 5 walks. 1 of them was intentional. Strikeouts, 5. So what did he have last time? 10 walks, 11 Ks. That's about the normal for Duckworth. He tends to walk about as many as he strikes out. And here comes Lines. Dick Lines will come in, the lefty. Lines on the replay has been in 3 ball games, 2 saves, 1 2/3 hitless, scoreless innings. So Lines hasn't been used much. He worked 83 innings of relief in real life. But he's been flawless so far. And he'll have to be flawless as he inherits runners in scoring position, 2nd and 3rd, and only 1 out. And Kurt Bleffery, the hitter. So Lines taking his warm-ups. I'm just catching up on the chat now as Lines gets loose. The Wayback Machine. Oh my goodness. That was, oh God, that was from some cartoon from when we were kids. Professor Whoopi? Do I have that right? Suddenly that popped into my head. Okay, how are we going to play this now? Second and third, one out. Washington's going to pull the infield in for Bleffery. Kurt, 1 for 3 today. Line's ready to work now, and here's the pitch to Bleffery. On a 1-6, he walks him to load the bases. Oh my. Bases loaded, 1 down, and here come the Robinsons. Fans getting very nervous in Washington now. Just the more apprehensive, just waiting for this Oriole team to bust out. And now they've got the sacks full and Hall of Famers coming up. And here's Big Frank now. Lines. There'll be a double play depth with the bases loaded. Lines the full windup. The pitch to Frank Robinson. 3-7. He struck him out. Oh my goodness, what a huge strikeout that is by Lines. Bases loaded, 1 down. He strikes out Frank Robinson. Not completely out of the woods yet, though, as here comes Brooks Robinson. 0 for 1 with 2 walks today. Lines staring in. Studying the target. Wind up. And here's the pitch, a 2-11 left-handed. Foul ball left side, McMullen waving. And he's got it. And Lines puts out the fire. The Orioles leave the bases loaded in the 7th. 1 hit, 2 walks. And after 6.5, it's still 5-3 Washington. What a job by Dick Lines. Well, I already brought Drabowski in. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. My apologies. That's what confused me. Mo Drabowski will come in for Baltimore now to pitch the bottom of the inning. Heart of the order for the Senators. McMullen, Howard, and King. Yeah, there you go. Kenyon and Ben. Sherman and Peabody would go see Professor Whoopi. And he'd put them into the Wayback Machine. Oh my God, I forgot all about that. The things that pop up on these streams, gentlemen, I'll tell you, it's great. I just love it. McMullen standing in now. He's 2 for 3. Big home run in the 4th. His 3rd of the season. Drabowski's ready to go now. Righty on right. The windup. The pitch to McMullen, a 3-7. Single on a 1 on a 17. That's going to be a liner speared by Brooks Robinson. Not the place to hit the ball if you're playing the Orioles. And here's Frank Howard, 2 for 3 today. Drabowski studying the sign. Here's the windup and the pitch to Big Frank. A 6'9" right-handed double to 2. It's a fly ball's going to hold up in center. Blair drifting back and makes the catch. And with 2 away, it'll be up to Jim King. Left-handed hitting right fielder, 0 for 2 with a walk today. Drabowski gets the sign, the windup, pitch to King. 6-5 to the left-hander, swung on and missed, strike 3. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Mo Drabowski. We're through 7 in the nation's capital. It's Senators 5, Orioles 3. And with Boog Powell due to lead off the inning, lefty Dick Lines will come back out there. Ron Klein, the righty, getting loose in the Washington pen. Let's check the defense now. Going to the 8th inning. King made the last out. So we could move Valentine to his more comfortable right. No, actually what you want to do is get Howard and his 5 out of there. Let's see who they have in center field. They've got Locke, who played in this game for defense. Locke D, right there, see? In real life. So that's what's going to happen here. Howard's going to come out of the game. He'll be replaced by Don Locke. Locke will play center. Locke, the team's best defensive center fielder. A 2E9 with a -2 arm. Valentine will move over to left. King will stay in right. 3E8 -1 in left for Valentine. That tightens up the Washington outfield quite a bit defensively. That was good too, Franklin. I'll tell you one I can still get a crack up at still to this day is the Roadrunner. So here's the situation. We're moving to the 8th inning, 5-3 Senators. Lines to pitch to Powell. Powell's 1 for 3 today. Dick Lyons, the lefty. Left on left, the windup. Pitch to Big Boog is a 6-8 left-handed fly to center and playable for Locke. Locke right in his tracks to make the catch. And now here comes Hodges, and he's going to the righty. Managing very aggressively today, as you have to against a club like the Orioles. And closer Ron Klein will be called upon. Both Lyons and Klein appeared in this game in real life. Klein's got the save in real life. So Lyons worked 1 inning. We can close the book on Duckworth. 3 runs, no earned runs. Lyons, no hits, no runs. A walk and a K. And let's see what Klein has done on the replay. Their closer, he's been in 4 games, 1-0 with 1 save, a rather high 5.63 ERA, however, across 8 innings of work. Be that as it may, this is their best reliever. Here's Davy Johnson with Paul Blair on deck. Klein's ready to go now. The windup and the pitch. On a 2-6 base hit up the middle for Davy Johnson. So a 1-out single for Davy. And here comes Paul Blair. Blair 1 for 3, and boy, it was a big one. A 2-run triple back in the 4th. Oh, heck yeah, I'm not even supposed to be rooting, but I'm sure I've already given that away. I want to see Duckworth get another win. It's just too good to be true, right? It's an absolutely horrible card. If you had any say in the matter at all, you wouldn't even put him out there. So here's Blair, 1 on, 1 down. Klein working from a stretch now. The pitch to Blair, it's going to be a 3-5, swung on and missed, strike 3, 2 down. And here's Andy Etchebarren. Etchebarren 0 for 1. He's walked twice, one of them intentional. Klein staring in now from the stretch. Pitch to Andy on a 2-6. Fly to left field and playable. Valentine now in left. Drifts over to make the catch, and that will retire the side. No runs, a hit, one left on. And Washington on the verge of an upset here today. Grabowski will come back out for the Orioles. Nen, Brinkman, and French due up. Nen's 0 for 3 today, struck out twice. Grabowski staring in. The windup, the pitch to Nen. 3-7 right-handed fly ball to center. That's Blair. Blair drifts over smoothly and puts it away, one down. Blair, one of the best defensive center fielders of his era. Eddie Brinkman, slick fielding shortstop, 1 for 3 today. Grabowski gets the sign, the windup. The pitch to Eddie, 2-6 right-handed, is a tapper to his counterpart Aparicio, another slick fielding shortstop, scoops it and throws to Powell, 2 down. And here's Jim French. Let's see if what they've got on the bench. They might bring in a defensive catcher for that matter. I think they will, but we're going to let French hit. He's a left-handed hitter. Grabowski the windup, the pitch to French. 5-6, swung on and missed, strike 3. And down goes French, and that'll be the end of his day. I want to get these. We did our, obligatory 7 innings, 3 at-bats for French, and then some. So Casanova is going to take over at catcher. Paul Casanova. Light hitter, defensive specialist, 2E8 with a -1. So Washington, pretty much with the best defense they can have out there, trying to preserve. They've still got Savrin on the bench. He's not good defensively anywhere. Second, third, short, center, right, left, and he's batted all 6. He can hit, though. Good pinch hitter. It's all Ron Klein now. 5-3 Senators as we go to the 9th. Can they hang on? Orioles will send up a pinch hitter for Grabowski to start things off. Grabowski worked 2 innings. No hits, no runs, no walks, and 2 Ks. So 2 flawless innings by Grabowski. Let's see who they're going to send up. We don't have Charlie Lau. Do they have another lefty? They've got Snyder and Rosnovsky. They're going to send up Snyder. That's the best they've got. Russ Snyder will bat for the pitcher to lead off the 9th for Baltimore. Let's see what Snyder's done in the replay. Just 5 games played. He's 1 for 4. No RBIs. Klein gets the sign now. The windup. And here's the pitch to Snyder. That's going to be a 3-7 right-handed fly into right field. Playable for King. He's right there to make the catch. 1 away. Fans on their seats now. On their feet now. On their seats. So they might be up on their seats too. Hell, I don't know. No, Steve, this is not a rock concert. They're not up on their seats. And here's Aparicio. 1 for 4. Klein needs 2 outs. The sign from Casanova, the windup. The pitch, a 1-8 right-handed comebacker. Klein snares it. Flips to Nen. And the Orioles are down to their last out in the form of Kurt Bluffery. Kurt steps in from the left side. He's 1 for 3 today. Walked in the 7th. Klein trying to nail it down. Staring in now to get the sign from Casanova. Here's the windup. The pitch to Bluffery on a 4-8. Tapper to first. Nen has it. Waves off Klein. He'll take it himself, and that's the ball game. And how about that? It's an upset today. 5-3 Senators. Good game all the way around. Senators overcame a couple of crucial errors. All three of Baltimore's runs were unearned. So Klein, 1 2/3, picks up the save. His second of the season. Jim Duckworth's story continues as he goes to 2-0 with the win. Klein gave up a hit. No runs. No walks, had 1 strikeout. So your totals on the ball game, the Senators 5 runs on 9 hits. They made 2 errors. Orioles 3 runs, only 5 hits, no errors. Oh my goodness, thank you, gentlemen. Now the Senators even their record on the season at 8-8. Orioles dropped to 11-4. Let's see where that puts them in the standings. Is anybody getting closer? They had 1 game on the Twins and the Indians, so their lead over the Twins and the Indians dropped to a half a game, and the Red Sox pulled within 3. So it's just the way we like it. It's nice and tight in the American League right now. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me today. This was a good one. Bunker takes the loss. I forgot to check this side here. He drops to 1-2 on the season. Chief Gary, player of the game. Well, I'm tempted to give it to Jim Duckworth. 4 hits, no earned runs. He also went 2 for 3, drove in 2 of the runs with a double. Yeah, that cinches it right there. Your Chief Spokane Gary, player of the game, for the 2nd time in as many starts, Jim Duckworth. Is that too good or what? Holy cow. You gotta love Strat-O-Matic. Tomorrow's game, we're going to move on to May 5th on the schedule. And we will feature the Philadelphia Phillies at the Atlanta Braves. Larry Jackson will be opposed by Tony Cloninger. So join me at 1 p.m. Pacific for that one. In the meantime, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. And hit that like button for me on your way out. Thanks, guys. That's it for me, Spokane Steve, wishing you all a very pleasant good evening. Bye for now, everyone.